Westie here. This is Westie's Project 1010. 10 money tips for my 10th birthday.
Hi everyone, this is Westie's mom. Welcome to tip number 6. We're going to talk about a really important money smart topic today, budgets. Have you ever heard that word before? It's kind of a funny sounding word with a very important meaning. A budget is a plan for deciding the amount of money that can be spent and how to spend that money in a certain period of time. Sometimes families create a monthly budget, a plan for how to spend money over a month's time. You can also create a plan for shorter periods of time. For example, you can create a budget for a family vacation. Getting really good at creating a budget and sticking to a budget can take some practice. The best thing you can do right now to make sure that you are a great budgeter later is to get a good understanding of the basics. So let's go over the very basics of creating a monthly budget so we can build those money smarts. First, there are 2 main dollar amounts you need to figure out. Number 1, income. This is the money that you earn on a regular basis. This could be income from a job or income from an allowance. Number 2, expenses. An expense is something that costs money on a regular basis. An example of a regular expense is the amount of money needed to buy lunch at school every day. Want to know the first trick to sticking to a budget? When you sit down to create a budget, it's important to remember that expenses must be less than income. Seems like a simple trick, doesn't it? But how can we make sure that our expenses are less than our income? And how can we figure out what those expenses are? The real work of creating a budget begins with a simple piece of paper and a pencil. Write down everything you can think of that costs money every month. Next, take a close look at the list. How many of these items are wants and how many are needs? We've talked about needs and wants before. Do you need a new toy every month, or is that just something you want? Knowing the difference is a big step to creating a budget that you can stick to. Now, let's add it all up. Are your expenses less than your income? If not, that's the time to go back and review your expenses to see if there's anything on that list that you can cut back. As I said earlier, creating and sticking to a budget takes some practice. Over time, you'll get better and better as long as you remember the basics. First, expenses must be less than income, and second, when determining your expenses, keep a close eye on which expenses are needs and which expenses are wants. I know you'll be a number 1 budgeter in no time. And that's it for tip number 6. See you next time on Westie's Project 1010.